rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building. This is Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Let's get to it. Smoke News TV, where the truth gets revealed. Every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building.
Alright, we back. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I think our story got that girl locked up. Let's start there. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I think our story, them police say, you know what, man, we gotta go lock this girl up, man. Her daughter missing. Smoke News TV, all in the algorithm talking about this. Man, let me tell y'all something. I don't know what I was doing. I went on my phone, I looked, I said, oh Jesus. I said, oh Lord. I said, Lord, Lord. I said, they done locked this girl up for throwing herself on the floor. She want to throw herself on the floor. Yo, let me tell you something. Big Tigger, you better lawyer up, nigga. Congratulations to everybody that helped me talk about this, because finally we'll get some justice for that kid, for that child, because at the end of the day, we're going to talk about this. If y'all don't know what's going on, Big Tigger wife, a.k.a. Alicia Brown, got arrested on a warrant for kidnapping charge. For a warrant for 2019. You can't make this up. She wanna link videos, and less than 24 hours they come get her for the kidnapping of her child. We're gonna talk about that. Man, smash that like button, man. Jump in. Man, make sure y'all give me that like, that hype, that sub, man. They ain't gonna hurt you. Smash the share button, smash the like, man. Make sure you follow me on Kick. I'm on live on Kick right now. We got to talk about Nolan Wells, friends deleting accounts, stepmother judge deleting accounts, Ben Crump on his way down there. I mean, it's a lot of shit going on now, man. We could be talking about a whole bunch of topics, to be honest. But we're going to talk about this one, obviously, until we finish this shit. But He said, yeah, man, Detective Smoke, man, I solve cases, nigga. Yeah, I ain't no police, but nigga, let me tell you something. This is my job. I see something funny, I'm gonna talk about it, nigga. There, that part. Nah, I mean, Rock, Detective Smoke out here. Unsolved mysteries, nigga. Hey, yo, shout out to Eugene Brooks. If I'm pronouncing your name, Eugenia Brooks. Eugenia Brooks. Shout out to Eugenia Brooks for becoming a member, man. Appreciate that, supporting the channel. Shout out to Eugenia Brooks becoming a member. Appreciate that, baby girl. Salute. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's nasty work out here, man. Let's get this cop right out the way, because we got to talk about this Tig shit. She done threw herself on the floor. She want to win an Oscar. Yeah, you want an Oscar, all right. They done came and locked your ass up. They done put them cuffs, but yeah, that part. Now you're going to have to explain where your daughter at. Let's get this copyright out the way, though, man. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and the videos I play, they also owned by the original creators. Yeah, man, listen, man, this is nasty work out here, man. Shout out to Joanna Williams, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Support the channel. Try to get y'all member, man. If y'all can't do that, smash that like button. It's about 70 people in the building. We should count. We should be having, come on, man. Let's smash the count. We got 30. Let me get 40 more likes, man. We're going to be here for a while. Y'all might as well buckle up, light one up. Now, I mean, do what y'all do, because we got a few things we got to talk about, man. Once again, Joanna, appreciate that membership, man. Anybody else want to grab theirs, definitely grab theirs by supporting the channel. Do me that favor. Yeah, Lisa, yeah, she got that Uno reverse. Yeah, she definitely did. You couldn't say no better, Princess. She got that Uno reverse card pulled. Yeah. She want to throw herself on the floor. Ah! No! Ah! No! All this little screaming shit, and Tigger just want his phone back. Now, look, less than 24 hours, they come grab your bozo ass, and now they're going to question you for your child been missing since 2019. So while you was downtown Atlanta shaking that ass, partying, doing what the hell you was doing while you was married with Tigger, from between 2019 all the way till now, because now you're locked up, they've been looking for your goddamn daughter. And for some strange reason, Maryland police, they act like, oh yeah, his daughter not in danger. I mean, her daughter not in danger. How the hell she not in danger when her own mother left her in the car? We talked about this shit yesterday. We talked about it earlier also. Like, come on, man. And a few hours later, next thing you know, I don't know if Marilyn been watching my channel. I don't know if Marilyn been scooping around on my channel, because I ain't seen too many platforms talking about this baby girl. Can we all agree? When I talk about Tigger's situation, I always bring up baby girl. And I don't see too many platforms talking about it. So I don't know if Marilyn been watching my channel like, yo, man, listen, man. We got to shut these people up. We got to go arrest this lady, man, and we got to go find this child. That's exactly what y'all supposed to have been doing. That child shouldn't have been missing for 6 to 7 years. There's no reason for that child to be missing 6 to 7 years, leaving a goddamn foster home. Not leaving a relative, not leaving a cuz house, not leaving a grandma house. She left a foster home, allegedly. And the narrative is that the baby girl actually ran out the foster home. I wonder how that works. There ain't no cameras. Get the hell out of here, man. Cut it out. So that shit is all over TMZ. Breaking news on this. Know what I mean? Shout out to Big Tig. Hopefully now, I'm not saying here taking Big Tig's side. There's always two sides of a story. Do me that favor. It's 90 people in the building, man. We should have about 90 likes. Come on, we're going to start this shit over again today, gang. Come on. For the people that just coming in, smash that like button. You know what?
Yeah. This is Smoke News TV.
Smash that like button once I'm coming in the building.
We back in the building. Let's get to it. Smoke News TV, where the truth gets revealed. Every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it. Cause the truth always rises when when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers.
We got 100 people in the building. We should have at least close to 100 likes. That's all I'm asking. If you can't support the channel by smashing the like button, Cash App is in the banner. Get your membership. Support the channel. Donate to the channel. It's free. Smash the like button. Come on, gang. Before we continue, let's get them likes up a little bit more. Come on, man.
Everybody got opinions, I'ma do the homework first. Looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building.
All right, we got majority of half, man. Hopefully some more people will stop holding their goddamn little YouTube fingers and hit the like button, but we're going to continue, though. So back to this Tigger shit, man. Tigger, not for nothing. We're going to get more update on this. Obviously, breaking news is his wife got arrested for the kidnapping of her child from 2019. They've been missing ever since. We're in 2026. Make it make sense. While she's celebrating, she had a whole nother child with Tigger. Now remind y'all, I'm going to put this married into y'all brain. She done met Tigger, had a whole baby, celebrating, all in Atlanta, popping bottles, kumbaya, and chilling with her homegirls down there. But she ain't worrying about a baby girl throughout them years that her girl was missing. So now that they actually charged her, which I think Tigger kind of like spoke to his lawyers, and I think Tigger got something to do with this, to be honest, because I think Tigger know, I'm saying allegedly, everything I speak on this video is alleged, but I'm thinking that since he been linking these little videos, I think Big Tig said, you know what, enough is enough, because he know if you don't start talking about that child, like her baby daddy said, go take the live out there earlier today. We covered this story. I got an audio of the first baby daddy actually speaking about this. Tigger know goddamn well it's gonna get worse if you don't start talking now. Because number one, she's gonna end up getting a divorce on you if you don't start talking. Number two, she's gonna try to take half, nigga. Half. That's exactly what you're gonna try to take. Half. And what? I think his net worth about what, 4 point something mil. Somebody put it in the chat earlier. So she's gonna take half. Then number three, she gotta now come up with a narrative on why her daughter been missing for several years now. We don't know if this girl is alive we don't know if she's alive or unalive. Come on, man. This shit is sad, man. Shout out to Sheba, man, for getting her membership. I appreciate that. Sheba supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Much love. Appreciate that. That's why I don't understand. I really don't. And child support. Yeah, child support. The more money you worth, nigga, the more she gonna dig in them pockets if y'all not on equal time. And the way she on it, cuckoo, she don't look like she on equal time. So my opinion on this big ticket story that we all seeing right now, because it's breaking news, TMZ broke it out. She got charged for the kidnapping in 2019. I think Big Tig decided to talk. I really think so. I really think he decided to talk, y'all. I really think 4.3 million. That's how much Big Tig worth. You don't think this girl gonna get half with all this throwing that stuff on the floor and all this shit earlier today? Hell yes, she want half of that money. And I think Big Tigger got finished. I think he actually talked to police about the little girl been missing, because I don't think he wanted stuff involved in this. I really don't think so. It's going to be a bad look for Big Tig, bro. That's going to be content after content after content after content. Because now people going to go back, look at Big Tig history, try to go in the loopholes, try to dig in the crates, and try to see what else kind of shit that he's involved in back then in his younger days when he was all in the industry. Because we know he's a hip-hop industry dude, and he's been in that industry for several years. So, and we know he been in them Diddy parties, alleged, or some type of party similar to Diddy parties, alleged. So, if he get charged for this kidnapping also, but that best believe me, they're going to start digging in them crates. and they're gonna try to do some research on Big Tig. And I don't think Big Tig want that shit, to be honest. Especially you being in the industry, where that shit is kind of wicked and spooky. And they like to expose people. Tig is going to see themselves. I think so too, to be honest. Pardon me. I think so too, to be honest, man. Because I want to know what story he had behind that child that's missing for 17 years. I want to know what story that he have about. Like, I really want to know about this. I want to know what's your excuse going to be that a child been missing since 2019. I'm very curious about this shit, bro. Who works for the government with a warrant for 7 years? That part. Remember she said that part. Talk to them, Rock. Talk to them. There's got to be connections. There got to be some loopholes on this shit. Pause. There got to be something, bro. Because how the hell nobody don't know about this, especially a public figure like Big Tigger. But the good news is this girl got locked up for it now. Now we got to hear her side of the story and see what the hell she gonna talk about. Because I don't think your story gonna make sense, to be honest. And I guarantee you she's gonna try to blame her baby daddy, the child's father. Watch. And she might blame Tigger, to be honest, also. She might try to say Big Tigger didn't want that child around. But you had another child before you met Big Tigger. You had another daughter. So I want to know what's the excuse behind this shit. She the crazy one. That's a fact. But we off that story. We're gonna get back to that story later on, whatever, or next day, whatever. We got to get more news on top of that shit. Pause. This story right here, we gotta talk about this. Yeah, this is the one we here for. Yeah, this is the one we're here for. We're here with these white boys and they want to party and leave a black man on the island for no reason and shit and talking about, yeah, he'll figure it out. They'll just leave him on the island and talk about he'll figure it out. Nah, we ain't tolerating that shit. So now the law enforcement, they're actually investigating the argument that happened 4th of July on that island. Y'all remember that video that's surfing and all on the internet? You hear somebody dropping the F-bomb, you hear somebody arguing all this. Well, now, and allegedly, the police over there in Jackson County in Mississippi, where the shit was located at, I think it's Jackson County, whatever. Now they want to investigate because they know Ben Crump coming. Because now you got Ben Crump. Ben Crump is on his way down there. He about to put the pressure on these niggas' necks. So, and you know Ben Crump gonna come with his firm and all other law firms and all types of other people. So he's on his way down there, obviously, as we speak. He probably down there right now as we speak. And it's about to get nasty. I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen here. I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. And y'all heard it here first on Smoke News TV. Because one thing I learned, one thing I understand, one thing growing up, one thing I watch on television, all that type of shit, the deeper you go in the South, the more that shit gonna get crazy. And now we in Mississippi. First, we was in Texas with Carmelo, right? We was over there. We was in South Carolina with Cyrus. May his soul rest in peace, with the Chinese guy that shot him in the back while he running 100 feet, 100 and something yards away from the store. Lucky ain't no riot went down over there. It was a little something, but it wasn't that crazy. Now we in Mississippi, the deep South. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to tell y'all who's going to start this riot. It's going to be they people. Watch when I tell y'all. It's going to be they people that's going to try to avoid Ben Crump and avoid all this shit, protesters, because you know people going to come down there protesting. You already know what's going to happen. So they people's going to get out of pocket because now you're going in the deep side of Mississippi, which some of these people down there obviously don't care. If you think their sons don't care, imagine how their parents are. Their parents probably 10 times worse, to be honest. Their son left a whole friend on the island and talking about here, figure it out. Which we don't believe. We know it's foul play. We know some type of hands or something happened to the young man. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be a big-ass riot, protest, fight. All types of shit's going to happen down there in Mississippi. I guarantee you. Guarantee you that. Watch. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be mad as hell. They're gonna come down there and they're gonna be on their shit. That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's Mississippi, man. They was calling a monkey and a bunch of dumb shit, but I can't swim. They dared them to do something. That's when let me tell you something. Allegedly, the word is and the narrative is that they was calling them all types of names on the island while they was drinking. And they not tell you when you start getting loopy, the truth gonna start coming out how you feel about an individual. And you the only black person there. Shout out to Big Marco. Shout out to Big Mom, man. I don't know what you got going on there. But shout out to you, champ, for getting the membership. I appreciate that, man, for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. But back to what I was saying. You're going to have a whole riot, a whole chaos, a whole headache. Everything's about to kick off soon. But see, I'm going to play a news clip, right? Because they're not telling y'all they're going to use this bullshit as excuse. So we got the morning news clip. And they said something that they believe what happened to Nolan Wells. Then I said they're going to try to say he drowned, ran out of breath or something in the water. He was drinking. Oh, yeah. In the early morning news, they actually said that they believe that he drowned. Peep this shit out if y'all think I'm lying. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, man.
For answers in Mississippi after This morning, the desperate search for answers in Mississippi after the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, authorities recovering a body believed to be the teen. Investigators and volunteers from the Cajun Navy spent the weekend urgently searching for Wells after he vanished from Horn Island on July 4th.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen about 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Later that night, when he didn't return home, his mother reporting him missing to police, then quickly taking to social media, posting pictures of the teen, pleading for help finding him. The heartbreaking discovery made about 8:45 Monday morning when authorities say the Mississippi Community College wide receiver's suspected body was found in the water just off the shore. His mother writing, "His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated," describing Wells as a sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they suspect he drowned.
Hello. Hello. Then I just said this shit yesterday when we talked about this game. Didn't I say that, yo, the first narrative they're going to throw, he drowned. Now the second one's going to come up, he was drinking. He was intoxicated. Watch. This shit is crazy, yo. This shit is crazy, bro. They suspect him of drowning. Are you shitting me right now? So if he was drowning, where the hell his friends was at? Where the hell Billy, Jimmy, and little Tommy at? Where the hell they was at? So they was nowhere around. They just let Noel drown, huh? That's what you're telling me? So when did he drown then? If y'all suspect he drowned then, so let me ask y'all a question then. Since that's going to be y'all narrative, Jackson County, whatever it is down there, where was the people at? What time this happened? Who seen it? And how nobody ain't seen Noel drown? How far did he go for him to drown and nobody was around him swimming? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Hands down, that's bullshit. Oh yeah, they suspect he's drowned. Oh, that's the first thing y'all gonna suspect, huh? No foul play, nothing. And then all of a sudden, now this video is going around about the argument on the island. Now police all of a sudden want to throw out there, they want to investigate the video and the argument that happened at the island. Now y'all want to investigate, right? If it was y'all choice, y'all would absolutely say he had drowned, case closed, let's move on. If it was their choice. If it was their choice, they would have ran with that. Case closed. Let's move on with our life. Let's go. I can't believe they said that shit. And they actually said this shit early in the morning on their news out there. I was like, yo, they bugged out. How many likes we got? 86 likes? Come on, man. Let's get some more likes up here. Let's get to 100 before we continue because we got a lot to talk about, man. Yeah, and they said Katie talking too. We're going to get to all that shit. We got a couple clips we got to get to. We got to go through because this shit is nasty work, and I knew they was going to do this. Let's get them likes up, gang. Come on, man. Let's get them likes up to 100. It's about 166 people in the building. Let's get them likes up to 100. Like one up, hit the like, smash the hype button too, and share the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're doing. Follow me on Kick also. We live on Kick also over there. This shit is nasty work. You can't make this shit up. Come on, we need 7 more likes to 100. 7 more likes, gang. Let's get 7 more likes, man. 100 and better. Come on, get them lights up. Gonna tell us he drowned. So he the only nigga swimming in the river, huh? Oh yeah, yo, Jim, I'm gonna go take a dip in the river. Pause. I'm gonna go take a swim over here in the river. And nobody don't see this nigga drown, according to what y'all think. Make it make sense. Ain't no brother gonna just go out there and jump in the goddamn river and go swim by himself. Let's be clear on that note. Somebody, he gonna be like, yo, man, come over here, man. Let's go swim over here. He gonna try to invite a couple friends to go swim with him. Pause. Can we all agree on that? So you telling me the brother just walked off and said, let me go take a dip in the water over here, and all of a sudden he just drowned because he was intoxicated? See, they didn't bring the intoxication up. They didn't bring they was drinking. Because if they say he was drinking, hello, everybody was drinking. And we all know they like to get loopy, 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 loopy. We all know them that was with on Nolan on Wells. We all know how they like to get loopy, 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 loopy. When they get loopy, they get loopy. Let's cut it out here, bro. So that little drowning narrative shit I want to throw out there, false. We don't believe that. Sorry to say, we just don't believe that. I got to come with something better than that. Let's continue, though. I knew they was going to throw that shit in the narrative. I knew they was going to throw that in the air, and I knew they was going to say that. It's crazy how the first thing they think, oh, he drowned. What y'all going to say? Because he was a black kid, he ain't know how to swim? I'll sit back and wait. Can we please get a statement from his parents saying that Nolan knew how to swim? Because I believe Nolan would not go to an island with a bunch of friends like that, knowing that he don't know how to swim. It's just hard for me to believe that Nolan Wells would take a trip like that, and his father and mother would actually let him, and he don't know how to swim, just in case of emergency. That's hard for me to believe. Did this kid know how to swim? Do anybody know this shit? Since they want to say he drowned? Let's continue, man. This shit nasty work, boy.
But there's son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they suspect he drowned, but they're still interviewing friends who were with him as they work to pinpoint what exactly happened.
That's why we're still asking for information if anybody has anything, any knowledge.
And that information, the sheriff says, will help them paint a better picture of what happened to.
Say they suspect he drowned. Cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they suspect he drowned, but they're still interviewing friends who were with him as they work to pinpoint what exactly happened.
That's why we're still asking for information if anybody has anything, any knowledge.
And that information, the sheriff says, will help them paint a better picture of what happened to Nolan in the moments before his death. A toxicology report from the coroner's office is still pending. Guys?
Yeah, sad situation.
I called it, yo. I called it. I said it. I said, yo, bro, the first narrative they're going to throw, I'm surprised they didn't put the alcohol involved, but I forgot. Oh, y'all got to protect them because, they was kind of young. They wasn't that young. I think there was some of them was 21, some of them was 18, some of them was 19. You had all different ages at that goddamn gathering of 4th of July at that island. It was all different type of ages. We're going to go back and watch the video, obviously. You seen grown-ass men on the boats over there. So there was different type of ages at that island. And nobody ain't come to the rescue, bro. Grown-ass 40-something-year-old man's at that on a boat at that island, and nobody ain't think about stopping that, whatever happened. Because I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I think I think they actually went on top of him. I think they beat him up. Something happened. And I think a lot of people witnessed this shit, but they just didn't want to say nothing. Because I hate to say it. But I know some people like, man, they stay making this a racist card. They ain't a racist card. If the situation ain't look like that, it won't be a racist call. I sit back and wait. But I hate to say it, when you got a whole bunch of them out there and you're the only black kid and you got a whole bunch of white kids jumping you, allegedly, if that's the true story, you think they're gonna really help you? You better hope that God, one or two, got the heart to come help you. Because I believe Nolan got jumped, something happened. That's why I want to know, do he got bruises, anything on his mark, choked out, anything? Because if he did, where it happened, on an island where everybody's exactly at the same, everybody's at the same spot. There ain't no more but what, a mile down? Like everybody could see everything's going on. There's down there about 30, 40 people at this spot. So you're not going to sit back and tell me 30, 40 something people didn't see nothing. And if it wasn't 30, 40, it was at least 20. That's good enough. That's good enough. That's enough people to witness something. They seen something. I don't care if you was down there half a mile away from the outlet. You seen what the hell was going on. There's a whole bunch of people gathering and drinking beer. And let me tell you something. Lord knows whatever else they was taking. Y'all got to remember, these are 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds, probably 22. They in college. Some of them probably seniors in high school. You know they like to take their little drugs and all that. Let's not act like they don't like to do that. Was drugs involved also? That part. What they gonna say? Nolan took a pill or something, he started tripping? I don't think that's the truth right there. Let's get to the update news that they actually saying that that's Nolan Wells that they found that the goddamn, I mean, on the island. This shit, yeah. That goddamn snowflake. That's exactly what he probably was on, to be honest.
Year-old Nolan Xavier Wells has hired. The family of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells has hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump following his death on Horn Island. Wells was reported missing after a July 4th boat trip, and his body was found 2 days later. His family is calling for a thorough and transparent investigation as the Jackson County Sheriff's Office continues to investigate his death.
Say Ben Crump is on his way. Let's continue.
Xavier Wells disappearance. First of all, RIP to Nolan. And I just can't help but think how something is off. Okay, the friends' selective amnesia. They've all deleted their social media profiles. Why? If you're not guilty, now I get maybe you're getting harassment, but if you're not guilty, why wouldn't you put out an RIP? Why wouldn't you put out a message of love and support for your friend who's just passed? It doesn't feel right at all. One of the kids' mother is a judge. See, this is the part where now they're going to try and say it was an accidental drowning, a terrible, they're all getting their story together is what I feel like is happening right now.
Hello, that's exactly what they're doing. That's why the first narrative, they want to say that he drowned. Yeah, make sure you put that in the morning news. They make sure they threw that in the morning news. Yeah, we think he drowned. How? Y'all ain't even do a goddamn autopsy or nothing yet. So that's the first narrative y'all gonna throw out there, that he drowned. You see, this is shenanigans, and it's the stupidness they want to try to throw at people and think people is ding dong, ding dong. They think we dumb. No, we not. That's the first narrative they want to throw out there in a morning show, morning news. We think that he drowned. No, so y'all can gather up shit, get shit together, try to act like y'all got y'all story together and all. All this shit is a play, man. Especially when you got a son that his stepmother's a judge. That shit makes the shit even harder, to be honest. Pause. And then one of the other kids, they saying one of their fathers a high-ranked law enforcement. I don't know if the FBI or something. Ah, man, you can't make this shit up. That's why we got to understand, when we go to places, make sure you bring somebody, bro. Your cousin, your sister, your brother, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, vice versa. If you're a girl, make sure you bring a male friend or a female friend, your boyfriend, something. You're a homie. Bring your boys, bring your girlfriend, bring somebody. Don't just go into somewhere where you think, oh yeah, everything gonna be good. Nah, you don't know what the hell can happen. Let's continue, man. Especially if these. Let's continue. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells.
And it just seems off. It seems off to all of us. And in general in your life, there's a good lesson. When your gut is telling you something isn't right, it generally isn't right. And again, this is not how you act towards your friends. There's other accounts saying that the friends stayed and partied after he was missing. I would be beside myself calling the parents saying, hey, we need help out here, calling 911. There wasn't a 911 call. And especially, it's not like they were out at a bar. They were on an island. You don't leave ever a friend on an island when he's unaccounted for. Even if he's with a girl, you make sure, okay, you're with the girl, you're on that boat, you're good, you're going home, bro, we got you. This is not that case. And there's just more to it. It's in Mississippi, of all places, which nobody trusts. Sorry, Mississippi, but your history doesn't allow us to trust you in this situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We need to get more videos, more pictures. Somebody has to know something. Investigators are saying they're waiting for more to come in, but we can't trust the local police department, because there's a good chance if one of those mothers, a stepmother, is a judge, they're working behind the scenes to save their son's asses. And we need to be concerned about
the Wells, or the family of Nolan Wells, okay, to get to the bottom of what happened to their son. Here is what Ben Crump posted. We've been retained by the family of Nolan Wells, a beloved son, teammate, and friend who went out to celebrate the 4th of July and never came home. The wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College was preparing to return for the upcoming football season and would have turned 19 next month. His family deserves answers. They deserve the truth. We will not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into the light. And we call on investigators to pursue the case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves. In addition to that, a friend of the family had posted, her name is Raven Williams Broomfield. She posted over on Facebook that her son, LB, was really torn up about what has happened to his good friend, Nolan Wells. And
I want y'all to hear this. I don't know if everybody caught this, but if you ain't catch this, I'm gonna show y'all now. Now, this is one of Nolan's friends. Hold on, how many likes we got? We had 111. Only 200 people. And come on, gang. Smash that like button, man. We should be at 150 likes right now. Come on, be honest. Smash the like button, gang. Come on, man. 111 likes. Come on, man. We got 200-some people in the building. But anyway, smash the like button, smash the hype button. While y'all come in here, smash the hype, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. So you got Nolan's friend over here. That's his mom. Now, somebody under the picture, whatever, they must have commented, they said, yo, why your son ain't jump on the boat if he was there? And you know what the lady said? He know better. You see, the reason why I'm saying this, because if you the only black child and you should know better, be on point, bring somebody. That's why his mom said that. And that's what gets me mad. That's why I ain't gonna say it gets me mad about Nolan on family, parents, but it's got to be a backstory behind that. That's why from my last live from yesterday, I said, what's the story with Nolan and his white friends? Like, what's the back end story with them? Do y'all have, I mean, cookouts together and the parents come too, and you chilling with Jenny over there and Jessica, whatever, and all this? Like, what's the hell is the story in the back end? Because not for nothing, we could play vice versa. If a white kid is going to a black cookout, Spanish cookout, whatever, what you think his parents gonna tell him? Be careful, and you know what the hell to do. You feel uncomfortable, get the hell up out of there. It's another day. You can see your friend another day. That's exactly what they're gonna tell him. So it's the other way around also. So that's why the mom said, no, my son know better. So if Nolan parents ain't know better, that's telling me they got some type of friendship with the white friends' parents. What's your friendship with their parents? How long Nolan and his white friends been friends that he was so comfortable of going there? And if it's true that they offered him some drugs allegedly and he tripped out, why y'all just left him on a goddamn island? I don't even think they offered the kid no drugs, to be honest. I think it's way more to that. It's gotta be way more to that. But let's continue though, man. You gotta think twice before you go places. That's all I'm trying to say. And from the environment and I mean where we come from, we was raised, but think twice before you go do that shit, nigga. Yeah, you want to be grown, you better go. They teach us early. That's why I'm like, y'all ain't teach Nolan about that shit. Y'all think every friend is a friend? Hell no. Especially if you got different cultures of friend, you got to be careful. They could be your good friend all day when you're sober. I said this in my last live. When that alcohol and you're back against the wall and you're the only individual there that look like you, they get a little bit more comfortable. It could be your friends for 10 years on that side. But when they're around theirs, they get a little bit too comfortable. They start doing shit that you're not comfortable of doing when y'all by yourself and y'all sober or y'all playing basketball and shit like that. But when they get drunk, oh yeah, let me put you in this UFC move. They start doing weird shit like that, want to choke you out. I know y'all seen that video with them white kids was choking that black kid out. Y'all can put it in the chat. That shit went viral. Anybody seen that video? It was all on Instagram. You had a whole bunch of white kids choking some little black kid out. They was playing like UFC on them. That's why I keep bringing this shit up. And he was the only kid like a Nolan around them individuals, as far as a person that looked like him. And they over there choking him out. That shit was on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. That shit went viral. It wasn't not so long ago either. It was about a few weeks ago, about a week ago. Come on, you seen it, right? That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. And I could see the same shit happening to Nolan. I could see the same thing happening to Nolan. They playing games and rough UFC games with this nigga and shit. He probably highed up, drunk, can't breathe. They probably choked him out by accident, allegedly. There was alcohol involved, beer involved. We just don't know, was it drugs involved? That's going to come later on. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video.
The commenters call on investigators to pursue the case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves. In addition to that, a friend of the family had posted, her name is Raven Williams Broomfield. She posted over on Facebook that her son LB was really torn up about what has happened to his good friend Nolan Wells. And a commenter said, why didn't LB get on the boat too? She responded, I'm not even finna entertain your dumbass question, sir. I'm his mother and my son knows better, okay? And thank you. I'll say this, I think it's really sad that we are at a point where we're not even considering how the family feels about the rhetoric around the lack of parenting, the lack of conversation that the parents did or did not have with their son. Even this comment, right, when she's like, I'm his mother and he knows better. So what are you insinuating, that Nolan didn't know better? I mean, at the end of the day, I think more than race, my thing is more than race, we have to teach our kids about discernment, and everybody isn't your friend. And being able to understand that, because so many other black people lost their life over this 4th of July weekend and nobody's talking about it because it doesn't have the sensationalism of racism underneath it, right? It was just black on black crime. I saw the girl Bree was gunned down in her Lamborghini in Miami. 2 black people, a nurse and an activist, was killed down in Compton. Nobody cares about this, but we all care about this story, right? I think when we make certain comments, we just have to consider the family and how they're feeling, right? At the end of the day, it's not about what Nolan did or didn't do, right? It's about what others did, and he wasn't protected, he wasn't looked after, and we don't know what they did or didn't do, okay? But I'm just saying, this is almost reminiscent of like when a girl gets raped and you guys have every, thing to say about, oh, well, she shouldn't have worn that. She shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have been in that location, instead of talking about the person, the perpetrator, right? You're victim blaming. And it's like, I think the family is already going through enough. They lost their son. So I think the last thing they want to hear is, you didn't teach your son to stay away from white people.
That's a fact. Talk to them, sis. That's the last thing that they want to hear. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they probably wasn't raised that way. But come on, Nolan is grown enough to understand too. Know what I mean? Like, not for nothing, man. Nolan, he put his trust around them people too much. And I'm going to continue saying this. When we drink, black community, the black culture, we listen to music, we dance, we play cards, nigga. We might have a little PS5, little Xbox Madden going on, 2K, little 2K going on. That's what we do when we drink. Know what I mean? A little bit of chatty patty going on in the kitchen, you know what I mean? A little bit of gossip, whatever. Know what I mean? You know how people do, whatever. But that's what we do. Spanish people, same thing. The reason why I say that, because I'm both. They drink, they dance, nigga, play dominoes, nigga. A little bit of chatty patty in the kitchen, whatever, a little bit of gossip, whatever. Same thing. Them, they drink, they want to play rough games, put UFC moves on you, the male ones, the boys and shit, they different. They different, bro. And I believe that's exactly what happened to Nolan. I don't care what nobody said, bro. I don't care what nobody said. And I'm going to continue saying that shit. Because when I continue hearing other people's opinion, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Don't blame the parents. The parents probably taught their child what's right and what's wrong. It looked like Nolan is a good kid, not for nothing from the outside looking at it. We don't know his real personality, but from all the people that's coming around showing him love on the internet, his black friends and all that, a lot of people love this kid. But you don't see no rest in peace with the people he went on the trip with. Make it make sense. Where's they rest in peace at? Where's that, yo, man? I seen like one or two white boys that post something throughout the internet that I found earlier, whatever. And you know what I mean, they 18. I don't want to post that shit on here, but that's about it. I ain't seen multiple white friends. We need Miss Wells and Mr. Wells. If that's your last name, whatever, I'm just assuming. We need y'all to sit down and explain a little bit more information on how the hell your son is friends with these individuals, how long you been friends with them, why he trusts them, why did he go on that trip with them, like what's the reason? Did he call y'all while he was out there? That's another clue. Did he actually call y'all while he was in the island and let y'all know that he's good, he's safe? Those are the questions, those are the answers we need. Those are the questions that people got to ask them, because why did he take a trip out there with these people, man? And then none of his day ones go with him. Do his day ones, meaning his black friends, do they know these individuals? Do they all know each other? That's another question. Why his cousin didn't get invited? Why his other friend didn't get invited? Why his other friend didn't get invited? Why Nolan the only one there as far as somebody that looked like him? Can somebody answer that goddamn question? Do his other friends know these friends? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's continue. And all of a sudden, all of them want to delete their effing accounts.
Anyone thought this Nolan Wells case was just an accident or something. There's no way you go to an...
I'm glad somebody said this right here. I've been waiting for somebody to say this in the comment. I've been waiting for somebody to say this in the comment right here. Shout out to OG Segment for bringing this up. Frat house shit. Who's would it say that these niggas ain't do some frat shit to this nigga? Shout out to OG Segment for bringing that up, because that's exactly what I think happened. They were playing some old games, something went wrong, and Nolan got unalive. That's exactly what happened here, bro. And them little niggas panicked because everybody was highed up, high and drunk. That's what happened here. That it wasn't no drowning, none of that shit. These niggas on some frat house playing games, and they accidentally killed this nigga by accident, probably, allegedly. Hazing, that's a fact. You got to think about it. They between 18 and 21 years old. Let's continue, man. Shout out to OG Segment for bringing that up, because that shit is real, and they do be doing shit like that. And a lot of kids be unalive doing that frat house, that frat games, and all this shit. You got some people, man. Some of them kids don't even make it out of that shit. That part. What are we talking about? They just don't broadcast that shit on the news enough. They just don't broadcast that shit in the news enough. And I think that's what happened to Nolan. I think they went overboard by playing them games with Nolan, because of the person who he is. He's the only skin color at that goddamn island.
I don't understand how anyone thought this Nolan Wells case was just an accident or something. There's no way you go to an island with someone, not to the store, not to the mall, but to an island, and you don't return with them. That makes absolutely no sense. And now we come to find that his so-called friends, these guys have turned off their social medias. The mother of the guy that's a judge, she's a judge, she turned off her social media. There was no rest in peace statements. They brought his cell phone back. So we know foul play was a part of this no matter what. And not even going on race, just the fact that, hey, You don't leave your buddy behind on an island. The video that shows him fussing and cussing with his friends, there were many witnesses out there, and apparently the young lady that he was with, I think she's going to be the main case to bust this thing wide open. I think she's going to start tripping. If she doesn't have a lawyer, she probably already talked to the police, it appears. And the other boys, it seems as if they're being protected by their lawyer, but eventually they're going to have to talk. He's going to have to interview them, and they're going to have to answer some questions. Even though this is Mississippi, it is very clear to see that crime happened here. Something went wrong. This strong, college-playing football, well-liked guy didn't just come up missing. So rest in peace to him, Mr. Nolan Wells, and Godspeed to the family. I hope you get some answers, all right? Have a good day.
Nolan Wells is surrounded by so many of so-called friends and so many... Let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that Nolan Wells is surrounded by so many of so-called friends and so many pictures, and after being found deceased, nobody has posted rest in peace? Instead, they all went private. Even the judge, stepmother of Warren Hudson, deactivated her social media. That's not friendly-like behavior. These folks preparing for something big. Woo, y'all some fraudulent friends. Y'all quick to want to dance with them until it's time to dance with them. Can you use a my deepest condolences post in the court of law? Judge Ashley Cole disappeared off social media like Nolan's friends' accountability. Wyatt Pyron was one of the last so-called friends of Nolan to go private on his profile. I guess he got the news late. It's crazy how everyone else came back safe, and even Nolan Wells' cell phone made it back safely. Nolan Wells is the one that passed away, but y'all the real ghosts. I pray that young man receives swift justice and that they don't get away with the "it was an accidental death" excuse like they always do. I'm out.
That's how I feel what's gonna happen. They're gonna say this shit was accidental. They're gonna say the shit that happened was, oh, he drowned by mistake. They're gonna say that, oh, he was drunk and high. The only thing they're gonna try to charge the kids that they probably had drugs on them, or they provided drugs. They're gonna charge them with some straight bullshit. I don't think they're gonna charge them with any type of accountability of Nolan being unalive. None of that shit. I don't think none of that's gonna happen. Absolutely ain't gonna happen. And I can see that shit happening right now as we speak. They're getting their story together, and it's sad, man. It really is. It's sad that this kid had to go out there, try to enjoy his 4th of July, walked off with Katie, and we got a whole different story.
Xavier Wells is an 18-year-old college student. He went missing on the 4th of July after partying with his friends on Horn Island, and there have been so many questions, speculation, and how did this happen? Things are slowly starting to make sense, so we're just gonna talk about it. I'm very scatterbrained, so I'm trying to get all of the thoughts out. It's just, there's a lot of moving pieces. This right here is Katie McCormick. Katie McCormick is one of the people that was...
So this is the picture of Katie. Remember I had a picture yesterday, people saying it looked like it was AI. I don't know. It looked like it's the same goddamn girl from the picture I showed yesterday. This allegedly supposed to be Katie on that screen right there. Remember they said he walked off with Katie? I guess he was going to get some poom or something. I don't know. I don't even think that's a true story, to be honest.
Around Nolan on the 4th of July. I've been reading a lot of comments on Facebook, and all of these comments are from people that know that. They either know Nolan, Katie, one of the boys, a mixture. Yeah, as we know, people say a ton of things on the internet, so I just want to make sure before I put things out that I actually believe this to be true, because I don't want to share anything that is, unhelpful, messy, disrespectful family, anything like that. There are a lot of posts saying that Katie is his girlfriend. That's not true. Many people that were there that day have stated that Katie and Nolan met on that day. They met on that day. Nolan came with his people. Katie came with her own people. They met because it was this huge party that was happening in the water. This is a comment on Facebook from Ashton. Ashton knows Katie personally. I'm going to let y'all pause and read. What Ashton is saying is that Katie is a genuine and sincere person, that she hasn't really played a part in this, did not meet him until that day. Ashton continued, if anything, everyone needs to be questioning the friends and definitely not Katie. I personally sense genuinity behind this comment. I looked at their page. They seem to actually know each other. This is another person who knows Katie personally. She said, I know Katie since she was in 4th grade, and her story is literally the only one that hasn't changed. Now that line kind of sat with me. the only one that hasn't changed. So whose story changed? And she asks, who was on the boat with her that can back her up and vouch that she was with them the whole time. Grace goes on and says that Katie has made a full statement to police and Nolan's mom, and he didn't see him physically get back on the boat, but she saw his friends telling him to get on the boat, but everybody was in the water. And I've seen videos, there was a lot of people. I'm sure she doesn't know the exact time, but what I do know is Katie's story is the only one who hasn't changed at all this time. She told the cops and the mom the same thing. So she reiterated the fact that her story hasn't changed. So whose story has changed? I found this very interesting. And again, this is somebody.
That's why they say Katie is the one that's actually talking to the police. They were saying that Katie is the one, whoever the white girl. We're going to get to another clip where I think they actually got a better picture of her. They're saying Katie actually is the one that's talking to police. She haven't changed the story. But I'm like, what's the story, though? Because who came up with the story that he walked off with Katie and Katie came back? And next thing you know, they said, all right, he'll figure it out. We just going to leave the island? That just left him there? So Katie got to, like, who came up with that story that he walked off with Katie? I want to know who the hell came up with that story. So now we got a whole bunch of he say, she say, all this word of mouth. That's all we got. A little bit of link videos are dropping here and there. Hopefully we get more later on. But I want to know who put that narrative that Nolan walked off with Katie. But they seen Katie come back, but not Nolan. What y'all trying to tell us? Katie unalive Nolan now? Come on, bro. That's what you're telling us? Because whoever put that narrative out there, obviously they say they seen Katie come back to the boat. But they didn't see Nolan come back. This shit is crazy.
Who personally knows them. Grace goes on and she says, the boys also stated they came back and realized that he didn't ride back with somebody else. They then stated as well, too, a different story, is that he stayed behind with Katie. So which one was it? Did he stay behind with Katie? Or was he supposed to be on the boat with y'all and y'all didn't realize that he came back or didn't come back? She goes on, and I found this interesting as well, too. Several have said they saw the boys fighting. I've seen that video of the person who was parked next to them, and if you listen to the audio, it sounds like people are fighting. They're like, get on the fucking boat, or it's hard to tell. There's a lot going on, but you can definitely sense a fight is going on. Said several have stated they saw the boys fighting. This would have been after the encounter with Katie. I don't know. This is a lot. I genuinely feel like Katie, because a lot of people on Facebook at least are like attacking her. I genuinely feel like, and I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I feel like Katie is innocent in this. I feel like they most likely met, and it sounds like was somebody jealous or upset that he was talking to this pretty white girl, the black guy, whatever, and he's with a bunch of white men. Was somebody butthurt about that? Because according to the other girl, they started fighting after the encounter with Katie. So what triggered this fight? And also, why are they telling different stories? We got one story is, he got on the boat and we thought he was on the boat, then we realized he wasn't. And then, but the other story is he stayed with Katie, because people are leaving those comments on my Instagram too, is that he stayed with Katie. He insisted on being back there with Katie. But Katie got on the boat with her people. I don't know. And Katie's been consistent with the police and his mother. What do y'all think?
Katie know the truth. Like Devon said right here, they're trying to put that shit on her. Because for somebody to throw the narrative and say, oh, yeah, we seen Nolan walk off with Katie. Yeah, we seen Katie come back on the boat, but they ain't seen Nolan. I can see him now, drunk as hell, telling the story. So y'all seen Katie walk off, so now y'all going to blame everything on Katie? Because everybody else deleted their account but Katie. I think Katie's the only one that still got her account, though. Because she don't got nothing to hide. That showed more innocent over there and show more that this person is actually probably telling the truth. But see, we got to hear Katie's side of the story. See, she already talked to the police, so she already gave a statement to the police, but the statement ain't come out to the public yet. So we got to hear her side of the story. Did she actually walk off with Nolan? Was some type of foul play going on with the boys and Nolan? When they was arguing, did some hands and feet get put on Nolan and they jumped him? Like, what's going on here? So we got to hear a story from Katie now, because now the way it's looking like they pointing the finger at Katie. That's exactly what it's looking like. And E said he don't believe there's a Katie. Nah, E, there is a Katie though. Let's get to the next story. Let's get to the next clip. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video. What she said, how do we know there's a Katie? Now, we spoke about that. We was trying to think, was it really a Katie that actually exists? We don't really know, but and where's the autopsy? They said it was going to come out today. They ain't come out today. That's why they got Ben Crump down there. Before allegedly, and everything I say is alleged, before they start tampering the body and doing shit, trying to put marks on it or do something, because you know they could do stuff like that if they really want to. That's why Ben Crump need to bring his ass down there ASAP and make sure they don't try to tamper that body. Make sure they don't try to hit us with a 52 fake out with that body over there. Because you're absolutely right. We don't know if Katie even exists, but there's pictures out there of her, and they're saying Katie actually exists. She got a Facebook and all this, and this shit crazy. Let's continue though.
And gets choked out, beat on, and all of that. A video with the boy that got choked out. He's the only black boy and gets choked out, beat on, and all of that. Why are we not teaching all these kids? These kids today don't have no clue of what they are up against. And especially during this time, when these people in some form want some type of revenge, they're going to take it out on your young black boys and young black girls if they got a chance.
Didn't I say that yesterday? And if y'all remember what I said yesterday, I said all because of this Carmelo Anthony situation with the Austin Metcalf, and Austin Metcalf father is campaigning on all these interviews, trying to have he's trying to. That shit is nothing but boiling. That shit is boiling anger. That shit is the anger is coming up on all these little white. I'm just assuming, alleged. But the homie said, who you think they're gonna take their anger on when they see stories like that? When they see stories about the Austin Metcalf story and all that, and then you on the island getting loopy, and there's only one black kid there, who you think they're gonna take their anger on? Some people don't want to believe this shit, but this shit is facts. We can watch a lot of things. We get mad by seeing these type of stories every day. George Floyd, list goes on. You don't think they get mad when situations happen also, and they want to take their anger out on somebody? Who you think the young ones going to take their anger out? On the young black kids, young black Latinas, and young black Latinos, and young black little brothers and sisters. That's who they're going to take their anger out on. If it's an Asian topic, they're going to take their anger out on an Asian. They know different. They know different. They take their anger out on another individual also when they see too much on the news. And that shit bringing nothing but hate and jealousy and all types of other shit. Alleged. Come on, bro. That's why when the homie said that, I said, oh, we got to share this, because this is something that I said yesterday. Who is we to say this is exactly what happened at the island? Somebody put it in the chat yesterday when we was talking about this. They should have learned from the Carmelo Anthony case. Meaning that on Nolan and his family. They should have seen what Carmelo Anthony and his family was going through. Because that shit happened last year in May, springtime of 2025. Which I thought, that shit can't happen to y'all. That's the problem with us. See, we don't wake up till that shit hit home. Then we like, damn, now we got to teach our kids early before that shit hit our home. Because that shit can happen to any one of our kids, bro. And when somebody put that in the chat yesterday, I said, yo, you absolutely right, because they should have learned from that, or try to teach or talk to your kid about a situation like that. If shit getting out of hand, make sure you call us right away. So if something do happen, we know that you was there and shit got out of hand, and we know exactly who you was with. That's the question we need to understand. That's the question. That's the answer we need. Did Nolan call his parents on any type of physical altercation or any type of whatever was going on that got him unalive? Did he actually call his parents before that shit happened? I don't think so, because his parents would have came out and said, yo, we got a phone call. But see, those are the things we got to teach our kids. Yo, things get a little wicked, shit get a little spooky. Make sure you call us before that shit gets spooky, so we can at least be on our way, or we can know that you there and we know who you with. Those are learning lessons we got to teach our kids. And not for nothing, we could tell our kids this, that shit'll go out the other ear. But one thing I learned, these kids will understand when they caught up in that situation. They got a brain. This is something I teach mines all the time. You feel uncomfortable, shit gets spooky, make sure you make them phone calls. You call me or your mom. You call a family member, call your cousin, call your, I mean, anybody. You make sure you call somebody so we can know what's going on. We know who you with. If shit goes down. Sad story, man. It's a sad story, man. Let's continue, man. Pardon me, gang. You know how I get, man. Yeah, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, man. There's 200 something people in the building. We only got what? 166? Come on, we gotta get that 166 out of there. That shit look terrible. That shit bad luck. Let's get that 166 out of there, man. Let's get that up, man. Do me that favor.
Why not teach a video with the boy that got choked out? He's the only black boy.
And y'all remember that video that I spoke about when that kid got choked out by all them white kids and it went viral. It was a black light-skinned kid. This is what he's talking about in the beginning. That shit shouldn't be happening, bro.
A video with the boy that got choked out. He's the only black boy and gets choked out, beat on and all of that. Why are we not teaching all these kids? These kids today don't have no clue of what they are up against. And especially during this time when these people in some form want some type of revenge, they're going to take it out on your young black boys and young black girls if they got a chance, while you trying to be the token black person. That is not racism that I'm talking about. That is reality. That is reality. Like a lot of people would like to say, why are you saying racism? That is not no fucking racism. That is common sense. When I was growing up, they call it street smarts. You know where to go, where not to go, who to hang around, who not to hang around. Amongst black people, there was just a story where a black boy ended up dead. No one knew. There's another story where a white child tried to drown a black child, but he didn't drown him, but the white child admitted that he was trying to do it. So while you trying to be accepted and you thinking life is like cartoons as a child, you don't even know the danger you putting yourself in. And you end up at the bottom of a pool, at a pool party. And nobody know how you ended up at the bottom of that pool. And you the only black person. Or you end up at the bottom of the stairs dead at a slumber party. And nobody knows how you ended up dead. Am I saying something that people don't understand and never heard before? No, because these are real stories that actually happen. So you can be a black person that lives in reality and know what time it is. Or you can be a black person like the comment I got that says you shouldn't focus on those things. You should focus on love and life and your family. You make the choice.
And that's real shit. If you want to try to fit in so bad, these are the results you're going to end up getting at the end of the day. When it comes to real life and living a fantasy world and think that, oh, no, they different, they won't do it to me. And this don't just go with just black and white. This go with everything. This is who you choose, who your friends are. You got to be careful on your friends who you choose. Because this shit can hit home anywhere. You got to be careful on that note. That shit called street smarts, reality, and not no fantasy world that you living in on the internet or whatever world you living in. Because not everybody gonna be kumbaya with you, with the bobblehead like this, everything is good. Nah, we don't come in the world, we're not in the world like that. You gotta come with sense, smarts, look at your surroundings, observe everything. We live in a crazy world right now. People just running up a spot, clap, clap, boom, fwa, fwa. I mean, you can't even watch a movie nowadays. You gotta be careful. Nigga, then we talk about that game. You can't even sit back in the movie theater and watch a movie. You see niggas walking in the movie theater with hoodies on. You looking at them for like 5 minutes to make sure where they're gonna go sit at and everything. That's the type of crazy world we living in. Back then, when I was growing up, we go to the movie theater. We got a popcorn sat back, nigga, with a Kool-Aid smile. Couldn't wait to watch the movie, nigga. Now, nigga, we watching everybody that's coming down the steps in the movie theater. That's the type of world we live in. So you got to watch what's going on. Watch your surroundings. Who you going to be around with. Don't think nobody will do it. You think ain't nothing going to happen to you? Okay. You live in that fantasy world if you want. And that go to male and female. We got to wake up. We got to observe shit. Don't always try to fit in when you're not actually not fit in at. Sometimes everything ain't for everybody. When you too cool, you gonna lose, nigga. That's something I learned. Stay in your place, stay in your lane. Don't try to fit in somewhere where actually when shit start happening, take accountability of that. If you can't take accountability on the things that's gonna happen, you shouldn't fit in. And that go for everything. Not just trying to be friends. That go for joining a gang, joining bad friends, trying to join another culture that you know goddamn well they don't even accept you over there, but you're trying to fit in. This go for all angles. Pause. Fit in your lane. Stay in your lane. That's something I learned. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm trying to preach that to anybody. When you move it too fast, you're gonna end up crashing. When you're trying to fit in too much, nah, you're gonna be uncomfortable. Think about that. Not everybody gonna be your friend, buddy. Not everybody gonna tap you in the air. They might be your friend when you're sober. Let them start getting loopy. They'll express their feelings about you when you're the only person in that building that look like you. You start getting weird ass comments and weird quotes and weird, yeah, you know, this and that. And believe me, everybody been there before. You be looking like, what the, and you can't even go crazy because you're the only individual in there. So you got to try to play it cool. Laugh with the joke a little bit. Ain't nobody been in that type of position at work, bar, anywhere. Come on, girls and ladies and gentlemen. I know ladies been through that at work. Y'all be at the lunch break with Becky, Jessica, and Katie. And they over there talking about some joke. You the only individual there. They say some bugged out shit at work at lunch break. You ain't got nothing to do but laugh at it a little bit. But when you walk off, you like that. I can't believe these bitches said that. Ladies, I'm lying. When y'all walk out of that lunch break and they say some bugged out shit, Jessica, Katie, and the other one, whoever the other name I said, you telling me you don't walk off and say they just said some bugged out shit and you just laughed a little because you damn near is about to put hands and feet on them? But see, not everybody gonna be you. You got some people that's gonna try to fit in with them and agree on what they saying and think that shit cool. And then they get comfortable and start saying that shit more often on lunch break. I'm trying to tell. I ain't saying all, Chrissy. I'm just saying a few. You 1 in 100. Some people need their jobs, so they just laugh at the joke sometimes. All right, man. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video.
Also, Ben Cole, who's a judge in Mississippi, who's also been identified as the stepmother of Warren Hudson. You know, one of the little boys that was on that boat when Nolan didn't come back. And now his family has to grieve and seek justice because of something that happened that they refused to cooperate with the family. But let me give you a little insight on why Judge Cole is exhibit 1 as to why this family needs their independent investigation. You see, it's attached to people who are judges, who are lawyers.
Then I say that when you got connections of a mother, a parent, a father, an uncle, a cousin, I don't care, your grandfather, your grandmother, you got any type of connection involved in that system downtown, in that court system, if they used to be a retired prosecutor or they're a present time, they're a judge, let me tell you something, especially if you don't. And when y'all know what I mean when I say them. When you're doing multiple crimes, 95% of the times you're going to get away with this shit as a kid, as a young adult, because of the connections that your parents and your family have. We don't got that type of connection. I ain't come across too many niggas that got family lawyers and judges and all this, and they be like, yo, Smoke, let's go steal these bikes, nigga. We get caught, nigga, my mom a lawyer. Nah, we ain't had that shit growing up. Our mother was at work busting the ass while we outside doing badass kids things. But when you got parents on that type of level, you can get away with multiple shit as a young kid and it get comfortable all the way till you be a young adult. Because now you get comfortable of doing so much shit and you get away with it. That's the type of world them niggas be living in. When I say them, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the type of world they live in. When they start getting comfortable getting away with multiple shit throughout their years, they start doing more crazy shit and they get comfortable because who they family and who their parents are. We don't got that shit. That shit crazy to me, man. Hold up. Shout out to E for that $10 super chat, man. Shout out to E for that 20 early. I didn't even catch that 20, E. I'm old school. My folks told me don't be racist against the other ethnic groups that just don't trust them. That's a fact. That's the way I was raised. Nigga, when the neighborhood I was raised in, I was about the only Spanish mixed kid around that mother. Most of my friends, it was all black. All of them. They know. Some of them probably watch it. They know. I ain't got to say no names. My associates, my friends, everybody I grew up with, from females to males that I grew up with, from the uptown era that I grew up on, they all know. There wasn't too many Spanish kids running around that goddamn uptown area that I grew up on. So I can understand it. And I wasn't raised like that either. Absolutely. I was around Spanish, blacks. Then when I got a little older, I started graduating. That's when I met the white folks. Started dating little Becky, whatever, I mean, little teenager days and shit like that. Started getting invited to their house, started experiencing how the white culture is. Because that's the only way you're going to find out if you got a white friend or you date a white girl. If it's vice versa, if it's a black girl or a Latino girl, you're going to have a white boyfriend, then you're going to experience that white culture. You're going to understand the difference. You're going to understand the difference. So it go both ways. They don't just go with the fellas. They go with the females that dating white dudes too. When you enter their house home, because y'all ain't going to date no trailer park white dude. We can all say that. Y'all going to go try to get the nigga that got the money. When y'all go into that household, it's a different culture. It's a different culture. And fellas, we done experienced that shit early. There's so many goddamn mixed kids right now. This is ridiculous right now. You got all mixed type of white, black kids. So the young YNs, they going through that shit right now as we speak. Somebody watching me right now is going through a situation that they can't even see their child. A young YN right now that's either black or Latino got a little baby by a white girl right now, and her family is legit with money. I guarantee you, if somebody's watching me, he said they're gonna be like, "Smoke, you ain't lying," because I ain't seen my kid for about 6-8 months because they family don't rock with me. That'd be the effed up part in my language. Let's continue.
Judge Cole is exhibit 1 as to why this family needs their independent investigation. You see, it's attached to people who are judges, who are lawyers, firemen. We're talking about connections to cover shit up. Let's talk about her. One of the most important reasons why Nolan Wells' family is going to need an independent investigation is because of this lady. You may remember her because there was a case in Mississippi that involved exchanging children, and a mother was unalived by the child's father because Cole refused to allow her to exchange at a police station where it was safer. Instead, she was shot and unalived by said father during a drop-off. Y'all remember Aubrey Wyatt?
Now, she's actually explaining cases that the stepmother, the judge of one of Nolan's friends, that she handled, and she made a lot of mistakes. So she's like, yeah, we gotta watch her. Yeah, the stepmother that's a judge, one of Nolan's friends, yeah, we gotta watch her.
And a mother was unalived by the child's father because Cole refused to allow her to exchange at a police station where it was safer. Instead, she was shot and unalived by said father during a drop-off. Y'all remember Aubrey Wyatt? This judge ordered her mother that she could not post anything online about her daughter's way out because it would bring too much attention. So when we're talking about an independent fucking investigation, she is red flag number 1.
Yeah, if you think they are not covering shit up as we speak, she is exhibit number fucking danger 1. It just so happened her stepson was present during the last moments of Nolan's life, and they are refusing to cooperate and give the family answers.
You heard that? One of them pictures that y'all see, the pictures that y'all see right here, I believe it's the kid to the left over there with the hat on. That's his stepmother. That's the judge.
Post one of them made. I have attached the family present during the last moments of Nolan's life, and they are refusing to cooperate and give the family answers. I have attached the family's GoFundMe because they're going to need the independent investigation, because I'd be damned if they play in the Wells face in broad fucking daylight. To Nolan, this is what Jax posted yesterday. Don't post my son if you won't post up at the police station to give an accurate account of what happened. Don't post my child if you are not cooperating with law enforcement. Because then you playing in my face. You want to post my child, but you don't want to post up to give an accurate account of what happened to my child. Same go for you, Eric. You want to post my child and say you will see him soon, but you don't want to post up and tell the police how you going to see him soon. You know you weren't going to see him soon. You know something happened to him. Don't post him if you're not going to post up, pull up, give a statement, give an accurate account, and blow the whistle on what the hell happened. Because everything outside of that is bullshit. See you soon. See you soon. How? Y'all had his phone. He could not call for help. No underage or no teenager or no new adult is going to leave their phone. They are attached to their phone. Oh, I got something else. Listen, we got your back, Nolan. We ain't letting this slide. Not on our ancestors, not on your parents, not on your family, not on your life. Your internet virtual aunties and uncles gonna show out for you, because we be damned. So there's an individual by the name of Lucas Aviz who said, last time I spoke to him, and he posted this on Nolan's mother's page in her comments, said last time I spoke to him was when he said that I have to leave, and it was probably 2 to 2:30 p.m. But there was a huge group of people with several boats around for all I can remember. I last saw him get on a white boat with a center console before I had left. So that's all the information I can provide. So let me tell you another individual that I didn't mention that they're going to need. They're going to need a social media person to go and pull every fucking thing. They're going to need more than one to have eyes and ears. Because what y'all don't know, they get on these social media apps and they post this shit and they think it's not discoverable. But as I say, anything you say, post, and receive can and will be used against you in a court of law. This did not have to happen. Nolan deserved to be here.
That shit crazy. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells, man. Because I tell you one thing, man, they got the internet on a frenzy. That's why I'm talking about it, because there's no way in the world this teenager, young college kid, is going to leave his goddamn his phone behind on the boat. There's no way. Like, there's no way. And you're going to we're going to take another look at this shit. Now police want to say they want to investigate the little argument that they seen at the island, whoever's recording. My thing is, where's everybody else recording? And I believe it's a longer version of the recording that we actually see, to be honest. And I want to know what was the argument about. And I want to know why his friends didn't have his back. And I want to know why the F his friends turned their back if they did put hands and feet on Nolan. I mean, like, I could just keep on going. And I want to know there's 20, 30 people there and nobody couldn't stop that fight, that unalive Nolan. Because the drowning, we can X that shit out. He ain't drowned. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. They put his ass over there by the water. That's exactly what they did, allegedly. We can X that out. The only two options I could think of, it was a fight over some jealous shit, jealousy and hate. And number two, they probably was arguing over a girl. Like every young man do. That's the only two things I could think of. But my think of, why the people they come to fight? Why the people they come to stop it? Why Nolan didn't call his parents and say, yo, I'm in a situation over here, Dad. I need you to try to come out here or get me out of here. Why Nolan didn't reach to his phone? Where was his phone at during the argument at the time when they recorded shit, when you hear a little argument going on the island? If that's him and that group over there, that's an argument going on, say that's Nolan over there. Did he have his phone with him? Then you got people in the comment section saying they see Nolan jump in another boat. Is that facts? Man, like I told y'all, man, they're gonna spin this narrative, so many stories, bro. He jumped on somebody else's boat. They gave him drugs. He panicked. He had a bugged out moment. They didn't know what to do. What you gonna say? He overdosed on a drug then? Because if he had a bugged out moment, say they gave him a drug, right? Because that's another narrative. They're saying that he took a drug and he bugged out. If he bugged out, how did he bugged out? Did he jumped into the water and drowned himself? Why y'all punk ass ain't going there and help him? Y'all the one provided him that drug, alleged. So if y'all provided your friend the drug, obviously he's right around you. What'd he do? Run off from y'all? Y'all think it was funny? And he jumped in the water and drowned? Why y'all ain't gonna check him out? That's number one. If they want to use the drug narrative, because I could see them using that. Yeah, we got him some drugs, and Nolan kind of he started tripping. He bugged out. So how did he bug out? Did he overdose? Did he have a stroke? Did he run to the water and drown? Like how the hell did he bug out? Then number two, they're gonna use the drunk shit. Oh, he drank too much. He jumped in the water and he drowned. Everything gonna have to do, any narrative they use from today on is gonna be on their side. It's gonna have to do with something with water, meaning the water, the island, the river. That's the only thing they could come up with. Because what other narrative you could possibly come up with? There's more water in the island. So okay, they're gonna sit back. How are we gonna figure this out? Oh, I got a story. Just say that he ran to the water and drowned. He panicked over some drugs or something, whatever they gave him. That's why they got to go check that autopsy. That's why if you don't go check that autopsy and do an independent autopsy like this young lady said in the video, they could tamper that shit. They could tamper your body. They could put a drug in your body. I mean, a dead body. Come on, bro. They could do anything. I'm just assuming. They could make shit happen is what I'm trying to say. If they want to make it happen, they could make it happen. And the first narrative, the first story is going to be saying that he drowned. Drugs and alcohol. There's no other story for their story to protect them. So the only way for the story to protect them, they're going to say that he actually drowned. And I said that shit last night. But what I'm getting mad at, I want to know where was his phone at during that argument? So say he was standing there during that argument and shit kicked off and popped off. Did he have his phone in his possession? Or was the phone on the boat? To a point that he can't get to the boat to go get his phone or call his mom or dad or anybody back home. That's the clue right there also. Where was his phone during an argument or during the time when he was being unalive? And let me put another thing in. Let this marinate in y'all brain. You know how a lot of cases get solved from the towers? Because they could connect the towers to the phone. How the hell they gonna do that out there? It ain't nothing but water in the island. What, they got a satellite or something? You think they're gonna go that far? I don't think so. That shit costs money in court. There ain't no towers. There ain't no phone towers out there in that water in the island. The only way you're gonna get any type of thing going on is from the satellite. And I don't think they're gonna take it that far and spend that amount of money to try to get some shit from the goddamn satellite from where they was at. That part. It's nasty work, man. They got a whole story behind this shit. Ain't no towers, ain't no phone towers, nothing out there. And the reason why I'm bringing the phone towers, so I could tell y'all what's the back end of the story, what I'm trying to say is, when you got the phone towers, whatever area you at, they could get the text message, they could get all that, they could get the phone call, they could do all that. We've seen that in several cases. But my question to y'all might have a better answer than I have on this. How the hell they gonna find all that out if they're in the middle of a goddamn island in a river? Now, if they do got the text message and all that, you telling me that they actually gonna show all that? They're gonna show that in court? They're gonna lose their case. They're gonna do anything possibility to save them boys. And there ain't no towers out there, so they can make up any type of goddamn excuse. Is what I'm trying to explain here. If Ben Crump don't put his foot on their neck, they're gonna try to tamper and try to spin this narrative all the way. All the way. All the way. Because y'all gonna tell me that they're gonna bring all the evidence in court? No, they're trying to save them boys. They ain't trying to save Nolan. They not, no, let me repeat myself. They're not trying to save Nolan. They're trying to save them. Them boys. Why you think the stepmom judge told him to delete their goddamn account properly? Let's go back to that video, man. Now look at all the people out there. That's the gathering. That's allegedly the argument where they all standing at. And Nolan supposed to be over there. They got better little close-up pictures also. Y'all can go check them out. But Nolan supposed to be over there. My thing that bugged me out about this, though, it's a lot of people there. And like Miss Special said, and I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. No signal. Because Nolan's the one of many that have been unalive out there. That's been a way that's a way to say that they drowned, basically. There's no signal out there. That's what I'm trying to put a bug in a lot of these people's head. When you got a crime like that happening on an island with no signal, none of that shit, and say you got a little text that went through, you think they actually gonna provide that in court to help Nolan? No, they're gonna try to help them boys. So whatever excuse they could come up with, yeah, we ain't got no signal, there's no proof of this, no proof. Everything's gonna be no proof of this, no proof of that off the phones. The phones. The phones. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody said in the chat that his parents, they know he was going out there. And if that's true, that's bugged out to me, to be honest. Because, nigga, you telling me you ain't call your parents or your pops, your mom, man. I'm pretty much sure he called his mom. Yo, I'm about to head out to this 4th of July to the island right quick. He had to call his mom before he went out there. There ain't no way in the world you ain't call your mother. That nigga only 18 years old, man. He either called moms or pops. He had to. But that's a perfect way of trying to get away with something. And the island with water, there's no signal. Perfect crime. Perfect crime. That's why I said it's going to be hard for Ben Trump and them to go down there and try to handle the shit they're going to handle. Because the one thing I learned in the world we live on, and a lot of unsolved cases, a lot of strange little cases that's going on, they always end up winning by the phone. The phone. They always get some type of information off the phone, some type of text message, the tower or something. You ain't gonna get that. You ain't gonna get that on this case. I'm sorry to say. The only information they're gonna get is before they went to the island. If they was texting each other, that's it. And that's the shit we seeing right now, and we seeing the comments under their social media. You ain't gonna see no comments or no text while they on that island. That's a perfect crime. They could use that. They could use that narrative during the trial if it goes that far. I don't see nobody getting charged for this shit. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say. Because one thing I learned, once again, phone play a big case. It plays a big difference in the trial. When you got phone information that can help your case, that shit helps you. In this case that we looking at, ain't gonna be no help. They in the middle of a goddamn nowhere with no towers, no buildings, no highways, nothing. What you gonna tell me? They got a little satellite for their boat? Yo, man. These people knew what they was doing, champs. They knew what they was doing, man. If it's true that they got some unsolved type of cases like that of people being unalive out there, this ain't no first go around. They know what they was doing, bro. They know what they was doing. He said that phone got water damage. Prayers to the family out there on the island, Miss. I'm trying to tell you, man, you in the middle of an island, you get caught up in some type of shit like this, and you ain't got no phone data or nothing. All right, I'm about to put another bug in your ear. Number one, I hate the ocean and all that shit. Being in a boat and a cruise ship. Y'all heard me say that before. I hate that shit. That's why I don't take cruise ships and all that for 2 or 3 weeks or one. I don't do that. I don't like being in the middle of an ocean and a big ass boat. It's just the boat in the ocean. Nah, we ain't gonna survive, nigga. But number two, why you think there be so many unsolved cases during them cruise ships? No phone data, no phone base, nothing. Nothing. Girls getting kidnapped, allegedly, human trafficking going on, raping going on in them, nothing. They try to bring up phone signal, no signal out there. You can't show proof. That's when you want to fuck with them island boys and shit like that. Because they'll take it to an area where there ain't no data, nothing like that. You ain't going to get no proof of nothing. You got to be careful, man. That's why I be telling people, when you go in them type of areas, man, you better have something where you can call back home, let them know where you at, let your people know, because if shit jump off or you disappear, you don't know what can happen. At least they know the last moments where you was at and who you was with. They could start from there. But when they can't start from nowhere, that's a hard-ass case to solve. And we looking at a case exactly like this right now as we speak. Because out of all them people, you telling me who's gonna, the only person we heard that actually might have Nolan back is this so-called Katie girl. And we don't even know if this story actually exists. 1 out of 50 people at that island, you telling me you got a chance of winning that? That's the only witness you got? That's the only statement you got is from her? Everybody else going to tell a whole different statement. Everybody else is going to be on whoever unalive Nolan. They're going to be on this side. We looking at an Austin Metcalf case also. We looking at a Carmelo case. When all them kids took the stand, just like this going to happen, and they're going to turn their back and they're going to say whatever happened to protect their boy. That's exactly what's going to happen in this case. There ain't no difference. And the only witness they got is Katie? Come on, man. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I ain't always right. Sometimes I ain't always wrong. But I tell you one thing. When I say shit, that shit come and exist. That shit hit the spotlight. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. This case right here that we looking at, it ain't gonna be easy. So he was supposed to swim 10 miles to the shore. That's what I'm saying. They left his body there or just left him there and say, all right, he'll figure it out to get back home. Come on, bro. Especially if Katie is real. If Katie is real, that's the only witness they got. That's the only one that's protected on Nolan. That's the only one. That's one against damn near probably 10 people. That's gonna have whatever little situation, whatever little altercation happened, and say somebody actually put their hands on Nolan and unalive them. they're going to protect that individual first. They're not going to tell the true story. You might get one individual, that's Katie, and probably one more person. That's it. That's it. How you going to beat 2 people against 20 that's going to take this stand and tell a whole different side of the story if you don't got the right evidence? If you don't got the right evidence, how you going to beat that? How the hell you going to beat that? They in the middle of nowhere. This shit crazy. This shit crazy, yo. You could clearly see Nolan over there at the crowd. Now, this is a better picture. This is a picture right here, or whatever, off the camera that they recorded. Now they got the arrow pointed at Nolan. You see, Nolan's the only black kid over there. I don't know if that's a little black girl standing there. I think that's a little black female right there. I don't know. Is that a black female standing right there, y'all? Am I tripping? Right here, right next to this little white kid that got the blue trunks. That's a black female? Somebody put it in the chat. I can't tell if this is black. I think so, right, E? That's what I'm looking at. I ain't tripping. So we do have another black. You can't tell. Man, look at the skin color, man. Look at the legs. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the legs right here. Her legs dark as hell, bro. That's got to be a sister. That's got to be a young sister right there. Yeah, that's got to be a young sister, man. I don't know if she black, Spanish, whatever, nigga. She dark. Her and Nolan, the only dark ones in that goddamn crowd. Where's she at? Anybody know where she at? Somebody said the other black there. There's other black kids there. He said, nah, Smoke, that's the light. Oh, shit. This nigga said that's the light. Nah, chill. I think that's a black young girl right there, bro. That's a college girl. It look like she black, bro. She brown. She something. That's Nolan right there, though, because Nolan had blue trunks. You could clearly see. I could clearly see this shit. This is crazy, man. Let me see if I got another one here. All right, this is a better little version. Well, you can see Nolan. You can see Nolan a little clearer here. So we got one black dude in the pool. One of them is Nolan. You might be right. It might be another black dude there. Is this kid in the red hat? That's a black kid right there. He said it might be Mexican. Nah, you might be right. Because them brown Mexicans down there in Texas, I mean, in Mississippi down there and all, they get dark as hell. Yeah, you might be right with that kid with the red hat. That might be a little Spanish kid with the red hat. You see the kid with the red hat, right? Cause which one is Nolan? I think Nolan with which one is Nolan? Nolan gotta be with the one with the black and white hat on. Or am I tripping? I think Nolan with the one with the red hat on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's two blacks in the water with them. It looked like it's about three. Nah, that's a white kid next to the two black kids. This shit's spooky, man. All these people, man, somebody got to take that stand and stand up for Nolan, bro. He said Nolan has no hat on. So who the hell is these kids in the goddamn pool then? If Nolan didn't have a hat on, you got one picture of Nolan over here on the sand. And then you got another picture over here with all of them in the pool. Blue trunks and black sunglasses. That might be Nolan with the red hat on there. The kid with the red hat in the lake, in the river, whatever, in the water, he got shades on. But we don't even know if that's Nolan or not. I just want to know how many black kids was there because this whole goddamn narrative we've been hearing for a whole week. They saying that Nolan was the only black kid there. This shit crazy. I'm gonna show y'all another image, right? Remember when I say if it was the other way around, you'll think that white dude right here would make it back home? If it was white, if it was reversed the other way around, do y'all think the white kid in this boat right here hanging out with the black kids, you think he'll make it home? Yup, he'll make it home safely. That's the difference. That's the difference. Whoever made this image up, shout out to the homie that made this image up on social media, because this is absolutely the difference. That kid would have made it home. It's an AI picture, but it's a story behind it. That's you get what I'm saying, Chill? If it was three black niggas with their white friend, he gonna make it back home. That's the story behind this picture. Nasty work out here, man. But I want to know who the hell is these other dark-skinned kids in this goddamn pool. That's what I want to know. I want to know if they black, they Spanish, because they gave us a narrative like Nolan was the only black kid on the goddamn island. I'm starting to think he wasn't the only black kid. It's nasty work, boy. That's what I try to say. I'm trying to figure out which one is Nolan. He with the red hat, the white and black hat. I don't know which one is Nolan. I know Nolan's over here on that sand. You could tell that's clearly him a little bit. But these pictures, man, we can't go by these pictures either, bro. Because when you look at the kid on the sand, right? Let me see if I got it. We still got that pic. Oh yeah, he do got a little afro. That's Nolan over there with them blue trunks. Cause he got that little fro type haircut. Nasty work, gang. Nasty work, man. Nasty work. Yeah, that shit funny, right? Let me pull that picture back up. Yeah, let me pull it. Hey, yeah. Yo, when I see this picture, I say, yo, this shit look bugged out. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Cause look at that picture, right? And look at this picture. Now they covered that. See, I got a picture where they cover their face on that one. Damn. I should have got the other picture, but when you look at that picture, that shit is bugged out, bro. Let me see if I got the original picture up here somewhere. That shit crazy, gang. But the sad part about it, though, man, that nigga would have made it back home, champs. You know what I mean? That white kid would have made it back home. Now when you see this picture, look. Rest in peace to Nolan. He ain't make it back home. Ray, Pookie, and Tyrone would have made sure he made it back home, nigga. Niggas getting right, niggas getting loopy, all that. Yo, you good? Yo, Steve, you good, Steve? All right, man, we're gonna make sure you make it back home. That's the difference. That's the difference, man. That's the difference, bro. When you see that picture in this picture, that's the goddamn difference. Can't make this shit up, gang. Can't make it up, man. He said that picture was a little suspect, right? Everybody's saying that shit. They're saying because the dude got his hands, on Nolan on leg and some shit like that. I got another picture of it, but we talked about that yesterday. Yup, that's Nolan with the red hat on me. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? That's Nolan with the red hat. I was thinking the same shit, bro. That gotta be Nolan with the red hat with the shades on. But then you see another brother there. I'm trying to look at the person next to the next. All right, you see the two kids with the red hat and the white black hat, right? You see another person right next to them. You can't see their face though. He look a little dark too, to be honest. Man, we gotta find out the truth, man. We gotta find out how many was Nolan really the only black kid over there? Because I'm starting to think he wasn't the only black kid, bro. I think there was other colored kids on at that same spot with them, bro. I'm starting to think that shit. And shame on them for letting that shit happen to Nolan, man. He said Nolan doesn't have a hat on. And if that's not him, Miss Tate, now we got to start questioning the other people that was there. Like, who are these two individuals? Nolan wasn't, obviously it shows that Nolan wasn't the only black kid there. I don't know, man. You know how the internet is, though. We gotta find out the truth. Truth will come out soon. You got Big Crump down there, so hopefully he'll come out and get some goddamn answers. But till then, y'all already know what's going on, man. I'm up out of here. We've been on here about almost 2 hours. We gotta get on to the next topic, man. I gotta find out some more information about this case also, man. Because they got a lot of shit they hiding. They ain't trying to give out a lot of information about this case. Probably till later on, like they did Carmelo Anthony shit. Remember, Carmelo Anthony video they come out to damn near 8, 9 months, damn near until the trial came out. That's when they want to drop the video of the stadium and all that. I feel like they're gonna do the same thing on this case. They ain't gonna give us the video right away unless Ben Crump go down there and put his foot on their neck. That's the only way, but we gotta find that out. He said, I see 2 to 3 black teens, including a girl. That's what I'm saying, Domo. I seen more black kids in that picture, bro. And I want to know who is them, why y'all ain't step up, and what's up? Why y'all not talking? Y'all don't know Nolan? Because I'm starting to think not everybody there knew each other either. That's another thing we got to understand. Not everybody knew each other there. So I don't know. I'm assuming. I don't know. On Facebook. No, I ain't on Facebook. The mother said that he didn't have blue shorts on. And then some reason they posted where she said she apologized. She thought he had blue shorts on. And that's real to him, to me. Lady A, I don't know. That's why I said it's a lot of narratives going on. We gotta, hopefully the truth will come out. But when we ain't got no phone towers, we ain't got no streets, we ain't got no ring cameras, we ain't got no cameras on the streets, we ain't got no building with cameras, shit that they use for cases like this. Now y'all get what I'm trying to say here? When you look at an unalive case, ring cameras, cameras in the buildings, cameras on the poles, on pole light cameras, I mean, Tesla's got cameras nowadays. They be unsolving case. You got road. I mean, they don't got none of that shit over here. None of that. The only luck they got on this Nolan case is phone cameras, and they better hope they could get everybody's phone, which I don't see that's gonna happen because they're gonna protect the boys, not Nolan. Come on, man. We ain't got no buildings, no ring cameras. We ain't got nada. We ain't got no store cameras. We ain't got them walking in the building, walking in the store, walking at the house. You got ring cameras. We ain't got shit. This is gonna be a hard case for his family to find out the truth. The only truth they're gonna find out, on autopsy. That's it. They gotta find out what was in his body. Once they do the autopsy, whatever, and all that shit. But who is we to say that they might not tamper that shit? They might mess around with the body before they even get their hands to the body, do an independent one. Which they gotta pay for, and Ben Crump come there and try to do that. Nah, we don't want y'all to touch the body. We gonna go do our own thing. That's the only way. But now you gotta get evidence, footage, video camera. Good luck on that. Good luck. Because like I said again, they trying to protect the boys. Pardon me, they're trying to protect the boys, not Nolan. Yeah, that's the only thing they're gonna find out. Once they come out with the op, then we'll find out if he was drugged up, drunk, whatever. But good luck on that because they like to play around with these cases, man, when they try to protect their own, man. Good luck on that, man. We can't believe the internet. There's no way the mother came back and posted that she made a mistake. It was blue shorts when intentionally she said he had on black shorts. So if he really had on black shorts, where the hell did this image come from then? That's what I'm trying to understand. That's why I said, man, this shit crazy. Where the hell this image come from with him and his friends, and he got on blue trunks? They're gonna have to do that autopsy, man, to see what's going on, man, for real. Because they can't let them do it. They're gonna have to do an independent one because they're gonna mess around with that body, man, allegedly. They're gonna mess around with that body, man. That's all it's gonna say is the cause of death. Yeah, Miss Special, that's a fact. But it's gonna say the cause of death, and now we gotta find out if the cause of death was involved in foul play. Now, if the cause of death involved in foul play, now we gotta find out who was involved in the foul play that actually caused the death. And that's the good luck that I'm trying to say here, because when you got a whole bunch of people trying to protect them and not protect Nolan, that's going to be a hard case. That's a hard case. Sad, man. This shit's sad, bro. It's sad. But let me get up out of here, gang, man. Be back on tomorrow, man. We be back on live tomorrow. Y'all already know the vibes. Do me a favor. Try to get your membership. Shout out to everybody that grabbed their membership today. I appreciate the love. But I'm about to get up out of here once again. And hopefully we get some. Well, obviously we're going to get some update. But like I told y'all, I'm going to tell y'all once again. They're going to play around with that body, allegedly. They're going to come up with some bogus-ass story, number 2. And number 3, the only story they could come up with, and where was the crime at? It was surrounded around water. He drowned, and how he drowned, intoxicated, or allegedly was on drugs. Those are the 2 options they're going to use, and that's what's going to come out soon. Watch and see. Watch. But hopefully we'll find out the truth. I'm up out of here. Hopefully Ben Crump will do his goddamn job and find out the truth instead of clout chasing sometime, because you know Ben Crump like to clout chase, but that's another story. But I'm up out of here, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, hype your boy up. Y'all know what to do. Try to get your membership. Keep the notification bell on. It's your boy Smoke News TV, man. If they know, they know. Salute, gang. Rest in peace in the no, rest in peace to Noah Wells, man. I'm over here, my mind all over the place, man. Free Carmelo, rest in peace to Noah Wells, and I'm up out here. Smash that like.
rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves, who's just chasing views. Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the bill. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know